Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Spirit of Justice. Today, before the murder was discovered, we're pressing the shit out of Clown Lady. So I put her name through text speech and it kept saying Geru. So I'm gonna probably just say Geru. And the other one, the Uendo, they said Uendo? No, shit, I've already forgotten. Shoot. I'll look it up later. So press. So the murder must have happened sometime in those 20 minutes, correct? But 20 minutes isn't a lot of time, is it? To kill someone? Yes, it is. I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what happened, you know? Isn't that right, Sam? Yes. Guru and I both can confirm that Master Tornado still lived at around 4 p.m. Oh yeah, you can, can't you? Bee! And press. Chronos, do you still have that Jolly Rancher from the Golden Sun episode in your mouth? Yeah, I'm recording this right after the last episode. Sorry, they take a while to dissolve. The fact that the two of you were there in the front of the dressing room means you were able to see everyone who went in and out, right? Of course! Or are you insinuating that I was daydreaming or sleeping while standing up with something? No, of course not. That's stupid. I saw everything, I tell you. Fine. So you say anyways, but did you really? Before, Endu, I think it was. Before Endu, oh, why am I even saying it? We already said that last time. You press. Only the defendant and Endu entered around the time of the murder? That's right. That's why it must have been Bucky who killed poor Shishu. Let's take a deep breath, okay, Giru? So, not a single other person set foot into the dressing room during that time. I already told you over and over, didn't I? There was nobody else. I must apologize on the lawyer's behalf. Even her memory is that of a spring chick's. Please overlook her transgressions as best as you can. Oh, I see. Poor thing, hang in there, sweetie. Hey, who are you calling a bird brain, buddy? Last one.
Hold it!
Jugumu. I should have looked that one up too. That's my doggy. I keep him at the theater. You don't bring him home with you? Let's see, with the twisty twist. That's your dog? That's what your dog looks like? And balloon! There you have it, my cute little Jugmoon. Huge Jugmoon? Huge Jumu? I don't fucking know. I'm doing like kindergarten pronunciations here. He's kind of creepy looking. Oh, but he's really, really good boy. They all are. And why was he barking? Do you think it's because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we have a new suspect in this case. Now, why was he barking again? Oh, I remember. Because it was time for me to feed him. So I went into his yard and gave him some food. Couldn't somebody else have slipped into the dressing room while you were doing that? Nope, the door out into the yard was wide open. I would have seen if somebody went into the dressing room. She's gonna keep adding balloons to this stand. Prosecutor Blackwell, come down into the stand for a second, please. How many times must I do this? Can I just stay here? You saw that Giru was talking about what Giru was talking about, right? So why didn't you mention it before? Can't be expected to remember every minute detail. Not every minute, Chronos. I'm proud of you. Thanks. Well, remember them now, please. Did Giru go out into the yard? Oh my god, she looks kind of normal without her clown shit on. I mean, it's pretty similar. What the fuck are you feeding the dog? Also, the dog looks cute in this picture. Yes, I remember now that she went to feed Jugmu, whatever. And I saw her looking towards the dressing room quite frequently as well. You call anything else? It looked as though she was feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. That's not good for a dog. Jagumu couldn't finish them all, so he buried the rest in the corner of the yard. Very smart of him. That's all I can remember. It looks like Giru was telling the truth. Your Honor, I'd like Giru's last statement added to her testimony. As you wish, defense. Okay, so I press this. You know what this means, right, Giru? You weren't in the hallway the entire time, you fucking liar! Well, okay, so I did go into the yard, but it was just for a second. Why were you feeding your dog dumplings? That can't be good for him. The yard door was wide open, so I could see the dressing room from the whole dressing room the whole time. The door was open, so she could still see the dressing room? Rescue Blackwell, I need you to understand again, please. What am I, your lady in waiting? Yes! Do you remember anything about the time Giru was in the yard? Simply that Jigamu buried the food he couldn't finish in the corner. That's about all that I can remember. Thank you? I didn't really need to hear about the dog again, though. When I finished feeding him, I returned to the hallway. And then I saw Bucky go into the dressing room. No questions asked. Okay, so around the time of the murder, Giru and Sam were hanging out just outside the dressing room. I guess I'm going to have to find a flaw in there somewhere if I want to get anywhere. Oh, so I need to present something. Okay. Uh-huh. Sure. And left around 420. Blaze it. Okay. Huh. Is your TV not plugged in? What the hell's plugged in then? That's weird. You like camels apparently, because you got like camel dumplings or whatever the fuck those are. As well. The victim was making soba noodles from scratch in the dressing room. The room is covered in soba flour. There are 2 drink cans in the fridge. Yes, there is. Oh, the door opens outward? How would you see the dressing room? Yes.
Objection!
Hey, I was right! So you were able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard? Is that correct? That's right. The door out into the yard was wide open. Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at the diagram of the backstage area. There's a clear contradiction between this diagram and the witness's testimony. Oh? I don't understand, Miss Sykes. Please point out the contradiction, what contradicts testimony. This?
Take that!
Giru was in the yard near the doghouse. Probably Blackwell saw her there. While she was out there, the door in the yard had been left open. Ah, I see. Yeah, if the door in the yard was wide open, as Giru said, whatever, it would have blocked her view, making it impossible to see in the dressing room. What? No way! Don't pop that balloon. But even if there were admittedly a few moments in Giru's was not keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case? It would greatly affect the case. From the spot Prosecutor Blackwell stood, he couldn't see the dressing room door either. Anyone who could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Eek! Told you not to fucking pop that. Guru, why did you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room? What?
Objection.
Hide the fact? You speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more likely a simple oversight, right, witness? Well, I was so shocked by what happened, I was just confused, that's all. Even though she's trying to keep up a brave front as an entertainer, the truth is that she's being torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is highly unexpected. Yes, it must be very difficult indeed. To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way the lawyer tries to pin blame on this poor soul is at the first opportunity. All I can say is, defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed. Were you not paying attention to the last case you were in? Straight up, where you come from? Yeah, I don't even need to say it, dude. You're a fucking idiot. But it wasn't. That's what I was trying to do. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's pin it on her. Even if she didn't do it. We'll fucking make up facts. You want to make us an evil person? We'll be fucking evil. I'm fine with that. Probably wait till it's not Athena, though. She's still new at this. Is it beyond your compass? Is it beyond your comprehension, defense? Your unskilled argument is scarring this witness even further. And if you ask people in this court, I'm sure they would agree. What? The Gary didn't get a say in this? Are you afraid to find out that they think ill of you? Or that perhaps you are indeed in the wrong? Listen to them now with the keen sense of hearing you are so proud of. Get right! Frank, how'd you get here? Shut up! I feel kind of sorry for the witness. Why is the little outfit so yellow? Yeah, I'm just trying to find the truth. Why the whole gallery siding with the prosecutor Shamati because he paid them? People understand that if I pay them, they'll do what I say. They know what is right and what is wrong. If I give them money. Laura's still in training, isn't she? Why is she all by herself? I hear the voices. I hear voices in my head. I can hear the voices in their hearts. It's so intense. I feel so alone up here, fighting by myself. I was all by myself. No one was looking. Are you afraid, child? It is ludicrous to come to a trial with such paltry preparation of the soul. Command you to leave this courtroom at once. How about you suck it? But I can't just give up. I have to keep pressing on. As long as there's a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door, the defendant can't be convicted solely on Prosecutor Blackwell and Giru's state testimonies. Even now you will continue to resist. What are you, good at your job? You're childish in defeat as well, I see. You're one to talk. I'm not off the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started. Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair. Ring ding and rappa? A little push, such as the piece of conclusive evidence. Probably should start with the conclusive evidence, dog. Conclusive evidence, huh? That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as karuta, lined up on the table. These special English version karuta cards spell out a message. You're gonna have to actually spell it out to me. Wet number 4. Wet number 4? You mean wet noodle number 4? How could someone that's suffocated to death have time to do that while they're being suffocated, Chronos? I mean, maybe, but at the same time, like, bodily instinct when you're being, like, okay, there's nothing in his lungs, so he was, like, choked out, right? Did he have anything on his neck? No. Okay, well, either way, when you're being suffocated, you, generally speaking, aren't going through the motions of trying to spell something out. You're trying to get whatever's choking you off. If you're shot or knocked unconscious thinking you were killed, sure, and then you wake up and die a little bit after. Well, you know, it's whatever. Yes, wet noodle number 4, as the 4th head chef of the wet soba is also known. The mistress points to none other than the accused, Bucky Wheat. But that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Wow, great job, prosecutor. Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do I do? Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of this irrefutable evidence? I don't know, give me a second to refute it. You can say whatever you want, but we won't know until we... Is it cruel to give the accused false hope? You will only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree? You're right! It's cruel to make him suffer when there's conclusive evidence! What an incompetent noob! I feel bad for the victim and the defendant! Frank, how'd you get here? What? I'm just trying to prove method. What's innocent here? I know you can hear them, defense. Their voices implore you to save the accused's soul. It is time for you to let go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence with which to accomplish anything meaningful here. Is he right? No. Why would you ever listen to someone like him, who's literally lost every case this game he's been, except for that one time, but there is clearly fucking some foul play there. So still... What good is she doing anyways? Frank, shut the fuck up, man. Now, defense. Leave everything to this humble servant, the Holy Mother.
Silence.
Yes, silence. My new Maya is here. He's trying to keen your sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man. Lyman! And you fop toodles in the gallery, can't a man watch a trial in peace? This inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around. Does that prosecutor really think she has to turn the thing around? Or she can turn the thing around? The mood of the courtroom is starting to change. Simon, did you bring your sword? Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you doing on the defense's bench? I am Maya now. I grew bored of watching from the gallery. Besides, if I were to leave this trial to this... I know, Venus, right? If I were to leave this trial to this spring chick and lose my favorite soba shop in the process, it would be quite cross. You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin? Truly, what a fool you are. To think you were so easily manipulated by these politics. Whatever happened to the qualified and capable Athena? I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again. Then grit up your loins and steel yourself in battle. I'm not gritting up anything in this skirt. Alright, so I did misread it. It's gird, not whatever I say, gritting. Yeah, it's like a girdle, or short for girding, or girdling. Anyways, but I am ready to get serious. Seems there's now yet another soul I must cast down to hell. I was in prison for a long time, and hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest. You just have to change one letter. But the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you just committed, you shall be surely reborn as a panda in your next life. A white and black reverse planter, that is. You shall be put in a zoo and be exposed to public ridicule. I don't think that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. After all, he already used to look like a panda like in his life. Who are you calling a panda? Sorry. She's right. You're a skunk. I see you're both prepared to face the fires of damnation. Dear, thank you for your service. You may step down now. Okie dokie! Bye-bye, balloon! Does everything have to be about balloons with her? Have you met her? Now then. I have a witness prepared to testify about the Karuta cards. And who is this witness this time? The first to discover the body and someone who witnessed the crime scene firsthand. Mr. Endu Tornado, right? And this time has come for the ponytailed pair over here to finally let it all go and move on. And you say that a lot, and yet has not been helpful at all. Very well. Let's bring the witness then. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I'm the Rukogo Storyteller, Endu Tornado. Fuck it, or whatever. Whatever comes in my mouth is what I'm gonna say. Even if my performance isn't worth watching, I will certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. After all, that'd be a Raku-no-no. Hehe. Boo! Who has a tomato to throw at him?
Hold it!
Yeah, get the fuck back here! You can't leave yet. You only just introduce yourself. Oh, my. Are you a fan of mine, miss? Would you like my autograph? One moment. Why would anyone want your autograph? I don't really get autographs. Ow! What do you think you're doing? No need to stand on ceremony. My fan deserves a fan, after all. A fan for a fan? Nice one, hee hee. Well, why isn't it, if it isn't Simon? How are you on this fine day, sir? Quite a dealie of a pickle we found ourselves in, wouldn't you say? I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Endu. Never perform in a place like this, you know. Never perform in a place like this, you know. Got butterflies here, can't you see? Hee. Why do you always get the weird ones? Why do you, all three of you get the fucking weird ones? Pardon me, witness. As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe we had better return to the case at hand. I suppose you're right. In that case, I was promoted to Futasumi yesterday and received the stage name and... Okay. I'm sure all that makes sense. The show was our way of celebrating my new name in middle rank standing. And that happened. Ah. I never dreamed something like that happened, not in a million years. And just as I got my chance to start replaying my debt to Shisho, too, you remind me of that lady from Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, the massage lady, when that stance. Yes, I was worried about Giru. The way she clung to Shisho, poor thing. I told her to keep a stip off her lip. Stiff like rigor mortis. That's a time and place, my dog. Keep telling those lame jokes, Shisho will come scold you from the grave. How do you keep putting lipstick on that quickly and taking it off? I don't mind getting yelled at, you know, if it meant seeing him again. Endu, please? As charming as your various characters are, this isn't a Rakugo stage. Just hear your testimony now, witness. Tell the court about the evidence left at the scene, the proof of the accused's guilt. Also, why are you kneeling like that? Fucking stand up, you're in court. I noticed Shisho's dying message went away. The stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, you see. Jesus Christ, dude, he died yesterday! Hey now, enough of the silly puns already, hee hee. Anyways, I get the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. That was the Master's final message, left as he was drowning in soba broth. It's so like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style. Well, that was certainly more entertaining testimony than usual. The variety of characters performed by the witness was absolutely splendid. But he shouldn't be performing any characters right now! And dude, whatever, Adu. The murder weapon hasn't been determined yet. So how can you say the victim was drowned in soba broth? It was obvious. All you have to do is look at the crime scene. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl. Something natural to assume he was drowned in broth for the noodles. Except that we're not here to assume things, Endu, so please stick to the facts. And one character. My. So like Soba Chef to it's so like a Soba Chef to kill someone this way, wouldn't you say? And with the Karuna message that he left behind, it's clear Buggy Wet did it. Setting aside the issue of the murder weapon for now, that dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence. Indeed, it proves the absolute guilt of the accused. Ugh. Even I gotta admit, I can't see how that message could mean anything else. Bucky used Soba for the deed, all to get back the Soba Shop deed. Ugh. This testimony makes Mr. Wet look super guilty. I have to do something. That's just conclusive evidence. What a farce. What do you mean, Simon? I mean, it is pretty big farce. What's this? I thought you said you weren't planning on asking me for help. You're my new Maya, and I did and I won't. Thank you very much. I must have found an inconsistency in his testimony. Cool. Uh-huh. Sure. Nothing there. Okay. Sure. Well, we'll just have to press him then. You said it was a farce too, Chronos. Yeah, I know, but I'm full of myself. You have a lot of things here. Mindu, when you saw the cards on the table, what made you think that they were Master Tornado's dying message? Well, it was coded message right there next to his body. I'm sure anybody would have thought that they were there to name the his killer's name. I don't know the game, so I have no idea. I love murder mysteries and often watch them on TV, so I'm an expert. Oh, I see. I thought a similar scene during a murder mystery marathon last Tuesday. That's what made me think this must be a dying message. I don't know how the game was played or where the fuck he was doing. I don't even know if it's a game. Can it just be coincidence? Cards were on the table your master's body was slumped over, right? He must have been surprised. You must have been surprisingly calm to notice them at a time. As I said, the stiff cards were right next to the stiff, so they were hard to miss. But wouldn't it have been more natural to notice the victim rather than the cards? The message just caught my eye, because the stiff cards were right there next to the stiff. Yes, but that fact hardly seems significant enough to make a person take note of that. Stiff cards next to the stiff. Why do you keep fucking saying that? So basically there was no real reason for them to catch your eye, was there? Ugh. You know, most people, they don't joke about a dead body on the stand, my dog. Different coping mechanism, of course. But when you're in trial and doing testimony, you don't really do that. That's right, I need to give your testimony and not perform a scene. Please remember you're on the witness stand and not on the stage. But look at all the wonderful people in the audience. It's only natural the entertainer wanted them to have some fun, hee. I guess we can let a few jokes slide, right? Judge, what the the inevitable bleeding of your work into other areas of your life. I know how that is. I find myself being unwittingly judgmental in my personal life too. I do that and I'm not even a judge. Right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Well done, Your Honor. Guess you can't judge by his cover. Ho, that was horrible. I advise the defense not to be so critical of the witness. Shut up, Judge! Yes, Your Honor. Much obliged, hee. The cards do spell out wet number 4, which could be interpreted as wet noodle number 4, I guess. I suppose you took this to mean Bucky Wet. There's only one Bucky Wet Noodle around here, and you've seen the giant 4 on his back. It's the only interpretation that makes sense. Yeah, I guess so. But wait a minute. What is it? What if there's another Wet Noodle in the area? Blackwell just slaps me. What? Did I say something strange? He's the sole heir to the shop. So enough with the ludicrous straw grasping. Hey, how's I supposed to know? Just listen to the testimony again and find the glaring inconsistencies. Alright, so... Master's final message, drowning broth. Probably drowning in the broth with the autopsy report, right? So the victim lined up those cards in his final moments? How can you be so certain that's how it went down? I know Shisho. He would never let someone get the last word on him, even in death. With his face in the soba broth and his consciousness fading away, why wouldn't he get his face out of the soba broth? Like, push the bro away. He left a message that pointed towards Bucky as he left this world. It's the only way it could have happened. Wait, the only way? Now you're speculating. Look, a dying message is something you leave as you're dying, right? I saw a scene like that in a detective show. We're not in a TV show, we're in a video game. Indu, we have a saying in my country, silence is more precious than diamonds. And diamonds are a woman's best friends? Shimuri, what the fuck, man? What is that supposed to mean? Misogynist pig? Please not speak any more than is necessary. I've been talking is my livelihood, you know? I talk all the time, this and that, truths and untruth. I can't stop myself from talking. You're fucking annoying. Hopefully we could stick to the truth without any of those untruths. Alright, my bad. Apparently when I was coming back, I accidentally hit the controller. Can we not see what he was saying? Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, sorry about that. Simon, are all the Rakugo artists like this? It's hard to say. It could simply be the eccentricities of an entertainer, or perhaps he's hiding something. Well, he doesn't have to entertain people in the court of law. And if he is trying to hide something, maybe he'll show up in the contradiction or something. Alright, dying message. So we're at the beginning again. Stiff cards, next to the stiff, you see. You keep repeating that. I know you're trying to get a joke across because you're a fucking idiot. Nothing was found in his lungs, so I guess that is inconsistent, right?
Objection!
Yeah. There's a contradiction in Endu's testimony. And would you please care to explain where, Ms. Sykes? Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual was found in the victim's lungs. Ah, yes, it does say that, doesn't it? If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been soba broth in his lungs. But since there wasn't any, it means the victim was suffocated with something other than soba broth. Disgusting. What? This is a contradiction you noticed, isn't it, Simon? Not bad. Not bad at all. But no. What? I guess I showed you. But if drowning in soba broth wasn't the cause of death, when was the victim's face thrust into the bowl? Well, after death, right? After his murder, right? Because if there's nothing in his lungs, he's not breathing. Because no soba broth was discovered in the victim's lungs, his head must have been placed in the bowl after he was killed. And that's when the soba broth must have been spilled onto the Karuta cards. In other words, the victim could not have lined the cards up as he was drowning. I see. So it was done after he was already dead. But why would the culprit do such a thing? Huh, I'm afraid I don't know yet.
Objection.
You boast psychological expertise, yet you cannot determine such a simple motive. My sides are liable to split at the absurdity. What? And what? I suppose you know why? Probably the cover up or plant a message. Of course, desecrating the body is in this manner indicates a strong sense of envy on the part of the perpetrator. Yes, that does make sense. It certainly paints a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings towards the victim. Feelings of resentment over the theft of the soba shop's deed, no doubt. Great, now the judge has even more unfavorable impression of Bucky.
Silence.
Must you come undone at every junction? If the culprit had time enough to set up Master Tornado's body, do you think they would have honestly failed to notice the dying message? Good point. The cards were right in front of his body, after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that, huh?
Objection.
Ah, but was the accused rational at the time, given the way he stormed out of the room?
Silence.
Never mind that. I have something more important to ask Unan and do. Me? You saw the Karuta cards firsthand, did you not? Would you care to tell us about them in a bit more detail? Those tiny crime scene photos show us precious little of what I wish to know. Well, those cards are from Shisho's special soba scenes of Tokyo's past set. Each card is related in some way to soba. Spare me the history lesson. Just tell me how the cards looked at the scene and no more. Yeah, well, there was soba broth spilled all over them. That's not much help, I'm afraid. Prosecutor Samadi, do you have a photo that shows the cards more clearly? I do. Please accept this meager offering, Your Honor. Oh my, what delightful-looking cards. Well, well. Tearing Prosecutor Sad Monk's conclusive evidence pouch should be a breeze with this. Huh? Don't tell me you haven't noticed. Don't be silly, of course I have. What have we noticed? Oh, the spill pattern doesn't make sense. I knew that! I knew that! I know anything, but I can't exactly see what now. Yeah, no, the spill does not make any sense covering the cards. Okay. I got it. Miss Sykes, do you really see a problem with these prosecutors' claims about these cards? Well, go on then. Alright! It's do or die! All I have to do is study the picture and... These cards contain a contradiction. Rearranged. Are kind of brutal. Are rearranged. That would be true. Because the spill does not match. The cards are rearranged. These cards are rearranged. But how can you tell? Please take a good look at these cards, Your Honor. The answer is right in front of us. Where exactly should we be looking? The pictures of the cards, the broth stains. Please focus your attention on the soba broth stains on these cards. The outline of these stains don't match up with the largest stain on the table. Oh, would you look at that? You're absolutely right. And? Please recall that the soba broth was spilled and got on the cards after the murder? When the victim's face was placed in the bowl? Yes, go on. I don't fucking need to! By the stains, we can see the culprit deliberately rearranged his cards after that. In other words, the message was altered in order to pin the crime on my client. What? Then, if we put the cards back in their original positions, please don't ask me to do that. We can restore the evidence and see who these cards are really pointing to. That's true. Pocahontas! Then, what are we waiting for? Let's do this. Please don't make me do it. All I'm gonna do is rearrange the cards so the stains match up. Alright. Okay, this should be easy. Let's see, where would the W card go? Here. Yes. Perfect! Okay, the H is next. Here. Yes. Yes! Now the E card. Okay, just above. This is a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Perfect match! Next is the T! It's on the bottom, baby! The N. Oh, here! Jesus Christ, yeah. I'm like looking around like, where the fuck is there an outline like this? There! That looks good! Now, O. O is for ouch. Here. Nice, almost done. Last card is 4. Let's see, it's completely fucking... Here.
Take that!
Yeah, take that. The message wet number 4 was originally supposed to say, "Oh, and fourth." The original message is our clue to the identity of the true culprit. What? That indignation look on Prosecutor Sad Monk's face is puzzling priceless. This is absurd. So it was originally 0 and fourth? It wasn't wet noodle number 4? Maybe the law is smarter than we thought. Order in the court. Well, I never would have imagined that there was more to these cards than meets the eye. Are they Transformers? So now that's settled, what does the 0 and fourth mean? I have no clue. Wait, am I? Who else do you suppose is to provide an explanation? Of course it's you. But I hadn't thought that far ahead yet. Change the cards around all you'd like, but if you cannot explain what the message means, then it's worthless. Is as worthless as you are, defense. Oh, that face. And so the spring chick that fancies herself a graceful swan is brought back to Earth. Had to do something, but what? Still your thoughts for a second. There's a perfectly good witness to question over there. Oh, right. That's a good idea. Come on, Athena, get a hold of yourself. Undo. Does the phrase 0 and fourth mean anything to you? No, there's no one named Owen in the Tornado family, or a circle of friends. Go ahead, ask anybody you like. Can't be serious. Having rummaged through your empty mind, I see you have, as expected, turned up nothing.
Silence.
I'm afraid I have no idea who the devil this 0 and fourth is either. But the fact remains that the cards were rearranged to pin the blame on Mr. Wet. That itself proves the defendant isn't the real culprit. Yeah, fuck this fucking platform. Prosecutor Blackwell is right. Besides, the important question here is not who does the message point to, but rather, who does it not? Or who rearranged the cards? Why didn't you point that out earlier if you already knew? Sorry. In any case, there are 2 opportunities for someone to rearrange the cards. The first was when Mr. Wet entered the dressing room, and the second was when Undo discovered the body. Are you accusing me of rearranging the cards? Me, who came to testify to the goodness of my heart? Well, you didn't exactly come running out screaming straight away, did you? Even a mere 2 or 3 minutes is more than enough time to get up to some devilry. So what exactly were you doing in there, Undo? Sip. Put down the tea and spit out your answer. Mr. Prosecutor! What's a guy supposed to do at a time like this? Silence is more precious than diamonds, witness. Therefore, you need only stay silent. Offense is devious. They're waiting for you to make a slip of the tongue. Oh, I see. So that's what they're after, is it? In that case, Your Honor, I've decided not to say another word. Very good. After all, your right to remain silent is protected by law. Well, Prosecutor Blackwell, any other brilliant ideas? Do you have nail-ripping pliers? No, that's Chronos' thing. Did you hear that, Sykes Dodo? A Rakugo artist who's afraid to speak. Who's ever heard of such a thing? You're trying to taunt him into talking? Such a petty trick will never work. It's gonna work. That's right. I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm only asking to hear your story. Besides, is it not your job to tell tales if there's an audience to listen? Even so, I have the right to refuse the answer. Then keep quiet, the more we want to talk. That's simple human nature. Isn't that right? People in the gallery. Even with this wonderful audience in front of you, still refuse to talk. If so, then perhaps you chose the wrong line of work, my friend. Are you saying I should quit? Because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I'll have you know. Oh no! Never mind what I just said! It is scary to talk, it's absolutely terrifying! Oh, but no, as a Rakugo artist, I must talk. If I don't, how can I ever show my face on stage again? Your Honor, I'm ready to testify. He did it! He managed to convince Undo with his power of suggestion. Bully for you, Undo. That's a real Rakugo artist should do. Okay. All right. If the witness wishes to testify, then by all means, please do. Just to be turned by such an obvious ploy. What a man of weak spirit. I mean, yeah. At least one part of him is weak spirit, I guess. In the dressing room. We'll go over that next time. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next episode. Have a great day. Bye.